Next up is the Kenra Blue Powder Lightener. Now this comes at $22.16 for a 16-ounce container. Now this is the only lightener out of all of the lighteners that I'm featuring today that have up to 8 levels of lift. Some key features and benefits of the Blue Powder Lightener is that it has a blue base for neutralization during the lifting process for anti-yellowing effects. It's great for application into foil or balayage, and you can use it on or off scalp. So this is a lightener that I'm all too familiar with. I've been using this lightener for a really long time, so I know exactly how it smells, I know exactly how it works, and like I mentioned, this is kind of like my go-to for general lightening when I do use it in the salon. So it does have a little dusty dust action, you can kind of see it, and it has a really strong blue tint. So the only negative to this is that it can kind of trick your eye a little bit when you are lifting and you take a peek in the foil. Sometimes you think it's done and it's really not. So that would probably be the negative about it. But overall, I do really like this lightener. It's, like I said, a good go-to power lifter. Now you can use any developer 10 through 20 on scalp and 10 through 30 off scalp. They don't recommend using 40 volume and absolutely no heat. So the best way to mix this up is at a 1:2 or 1:3 mixing ratio. I personally like the 1:2, and that's kind of what we've been doing this entire video. So we're gonna go ahead and stick with that and then do twice the amount of developer. Personally, I think this mixes up pretty nicely. It can get a little rocky at times if you don't mix it up well enough, but I think that's kind of like most lighteners. And this is the type of viscosity that I love. It kind of sticks to my whisk. Now let's go ahead and get this on a swatch. So let's go ahead and do the little brushy brush test. I have used this lightener so many times. If you've been on my YouTube channel, you've seen me use Blue Powder Lightener a gazillion times. So let's go ahead and get this on. So keep in mind, there's absolutely no heat. I think all of the lighteners so far that we have tested today require 0 heat. So that's really, really important. You can definitely, utilize the natural warmth from your client's hair. So I just really want to stress that. And you can really see this really rich blue pigment it has. And that's what I was kind of talking about earlier, which is kind of tricks your eye a little bit. All right, this bad boy is done. It's been 45 minutes. It feels a little fluffy fluff. You can feel the swelling. So some of them have had some swelling, which is interesting. So let's take a peeky peek. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. When I look at this, I cannot tell that it's done, at all. You kind of have to do this wipe test. And even then when you do the wipe test, you're like, oh, that looks good. But then you go and wash it out and you're like, oh. So we're going to have to see, once we wash this out, exactly what it's going to look like. Because this is my go-to lightener for a lot of my basic foiling. Sometimes I use it for color correction. Or if I'm just not quite sure what lightener I want to use, this is just my standard go-to power lifter. And I think it did a really great job. I didn't get the full 8 levels of lift that are on the claims. However, let's go ahead and size this up to the level finder and see exactly where it lays. So you can see this is definitely a solid level 8. And I love level 8 so far. I mean, that's realistic of what it lifts to in the salon. Most lighteners. This is definitely something that I can work with because we have a lot of those yellow/orange tones. It's something that I can control or enhance really, really easily. So overall, the integrity of the hair feels really nice, and the amount of lift that we got just proves to me why I continue to use this lightener. However, I'm still looking for that wow factor, that level 9 lift. Let's see if the last one is going to give me that. If you like this video and want to watch another one, click here. And if you want to watch the full video, click here. And for more education, head on over to morellamanelli.com or hairbnbuniversity.com.